Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you're a fan of action figures, toys, or pop culture in general, please subscribe to my channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV. Every week I will be opening a recently acquired toy, and this week, to honor the release of the new movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, I am opening this Turtles in Disguise party pack, featuring all four of the fellas in different outfits, I believe each representing a classic wave of Playmates variants from back in the day. This is released by Playmates as well. And I think each of these figures represents a past wave of Ninja Turtles figures. I mean, I know that there were Star Trek Turtle action figures. I have the classic version of this Raph in a spacesuit. But I think beyond my collecting as a kid, the Turtles continued to come out with like figures from history kind of a thing. So you have like Leo as a cowboy, and I think Raph has like a Davy Crockett hat on or something like that. I don't remember this party Mikey, this kind of like luau, a beach bum Mikey. I have a vague recollection of maybe one of the Turtles coming with a guitar like that. So I think each of these represents different waves from the classic Playmates Ninja Turtles figures, which is a very cool homage. Kind of an inside joke with older fans, as this might also attract some younger ones. I saw this at Walmart. I'm skeptical of this movie. I'm not sure when this video will come out in coordination with the movie's release. I might be right on the same week here as the movie with this. So I don't have an opinion of it yet, but when I do, of course, when I do see it, I will post a review, most likely on nerdvanamedia.com. You can check out that website for all pop culture news and reviews, from comics to movies to video games and more. But I have some reservations about this film. I know Seth Rogen is a producer, and I just came from San Diego Comic-Con, which explains my beautiful Southern California tan here. The closest a ginger could get, beet red. But, you know, they had a nice Ninja Turtles kind of promotional display on the boulevard there outside the convention center. And they had this video package playing with Seth Rogen talking about how he's been a fan of the Turtles since he was a kid, and he's excited to put his stamp on it. And look, Seth Rogen has a place in pop culture, but he's never really been my cup of tea. There's a lot of weed humor there that I'm just not a fan of. I just don't find it funny. And I have reservations with his attachment to this beloved property franchise. You know, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird self-published a comic in the early 80s that became this billion-dollar household name franchise, the likes of which we really haven't seen since. I mean, McFarlane might have come close with Spawn, having an animated series and a movie and a line of action figures to this day. But the proliferation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on a global scale, on a generational scale, is unmatched since the classic heroes of DC's Golden Age and Marvel's Silver Age. I don't think we've seen anything like that from comics since the Ninja Turtles. So, with that said, this is just sacred ground to me. This is holy territory. And when I saw these figures in Walmart, I thought, you know what, the tip of the hat to the past. I'm at least going to get these. I want to see how the figures are constructed, if they're still solid. I mean, you could see here a little bit, my Turtle collection, you know, it's probably just a third of what they released back in the 90s. But a lot of those original characters are there, like, you know, Muckman and beloved characters like Mondo Gecko, Chrome Dome. I just got Toka and Razar relatively recently. So, since they're kind of acknowledging those characters in this movie, let's see what these new figures are like, and am I going to be all in on this? Or do I just have these four, which is cool too. $30 price point at Walmart, not bad. You know, that's less than 10 bucks a figure here, and they do come with accessories, so I thought, you know, why not? And now that I've justified it to you and me, let me open this box here. Got a little tab here on the side, so I'm just gonna open that like so and go in. I'd love some comments from you guys. Do you share my opinion about reservations for this movie, or am I just kind of overthinking it? I am going into it with an open mind, because a lot of the stuff I've seen, the footage, the trailer, it looks cool. It looks good. I'm intrigued that the Turtles are voiced by actual teenagers. A concept that I'm surprised we haven't seen in any of their incarnations yet. I mean, you got to think about this. The Turtles' popularity grows exponentially, generationally. Here they are, opened. Between 2010 and 2020 alone, I think we had 2 different cartoon series happen. We had the 2012 Nickelodeon series, that CGI series. But then we had Rise of the TMNT as well, which wasn't super popular, but I'll tell you what, the original film that was on Netflix, it was a feature-length film in the Rise of the TMNT umbrella. That was surprisingly really good. I recommend that. But then we also had the Michael Bay movies in that decade. So in just a 10-year span, we had 3 at least incarnations of the Turtles. Not to mention the comics and anything else I'm forgetting. So including the comics, 4 really with the IDW series. So there was a time when, you know, every few years you get some Turtles. Now we're getting a bunch of Turtles throughout the years. This could last for a long time, or this version could last a couple years and then be rebooted again. So I'm intrigued by this. We're watching it in real time. So, a little faded artwork here on the back of that. I don't know how well you can see that with my new ring light, which is just so bright, but there's a little turtle sewer layer artwork there. Kind of cool, but ultimately going in the trash because we are just opening things. Interesting twist tie situation back here. The characters are like kind of bound in, and they have these little cardboard tabs that I guess are just kind of padding them. And I'm looking at this from the perspective, as I have in past videos, I'm a kid, I just got this, I want to tear it open and start playing. And some of these figures are so tightly bound. In fact, okay, so what's happening here is this thing is a tab, so when it's bound around the characters, it's stuck in there. So you have to pull this out first. Let's see here. So I gotta pull this out before I untwist the tie. If I'm a kid, I'm already like over it, and I'm just playing video games again. So here we go. And in the interest of time, I'm really going to whip through this. But what I'm most interested in this case is the construction, the stability of these figures. Do they feel like they're going to break? And let's just go in order here from left to right with Mikey. Oh, and their feet are bound. I didn't see that. Okay, but it came right out. Okay. I have not purchased a new Ninja Turtles action figure in quite some time. I did buy the re-release of the classics, so I kind of take that back. I bought, but it was like the same mold of the original Michelangelo, and fairly durable, if I remember. It wasn't, it didn't feel like it would break. It didn't feel like it was new compared to old. You know, these old figures are dense. They feel durable. Man, these guys have fallen off the shelf a bunch. They don't break. It's very refreshing. And I don't know, these guys, the arms are thin. You can see how thin the wrist is and so on. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, but it doesn't feel as dense or solid as those original guys. Even as I'm trying to tear this stuff out of the package with these stupid rubber bands in here. I just loathe those rubber bands. They're clear, hard to see, and then difficult when you extract the figures. And the toys I bought as a kid, I just don't remember the action figures I opened as a kid being this bound. Like, the plastic shells were enough, right? So, okay. I got the guitar out. I want to see if I could make it look like he's playing this guitar. And I don't think on the box it kind of offers that for me. What's interesting is, yeah, you know, normally you have pictures of the figures on the back of the box, but this Mutant Mayhem, they've really been pushing this animation and art style on the public. I just saw these huge displays in Hollywood when I was in Southern California They were very cool, I do admit. Now the guitar has this little hook on the back, so I wonder if that's meant to kind of hook into this, or no, probably here back here on the, this camera has like a little hook. So it's probably meant to like sheathe the guitar like so. If that's the case, I'm not going to struggle to put it in his hands here, but it is nice that the figure can be self-contained in that way. So yes, the guitar is back there. Here's Mikey. The hat and the glasses seem to be permanent fixtures, which is cool. So they're not, you're not going to, you know, if you're a kid, you're not going to lose them. You know, if I want to do like fight poses, I mean, I'd hate for him to have to fight on vacation, but, you know, there's some potential here for that. But let's move on to Leonardo, who comes with not one, not two, but 3 guns. Looks like a couple of 6-shooters and a shotgun. And the struggle to remove these guns is real. Talk about gun control. Okay. Oh, what? So this plastic band is going through the trigger guard. The plastic band was going through this. So I couldn't just pop it out. I had to really remove that plastic piece. Okay. The rifle has a little bang flag. It's small, but those original Turtle figures were pretty well known for gags like that, which is awesome. If you haven't looked up Varner Studios, I really recommend that you do if you're a fan of the classic Turtles figures, because Varner's Studios was a design studio that kind of created the initial designs for a lot of these figures. A lot of those little details like the bang flag and stuff, you could really credit to that studio and their designers. They put out an awesome book. I think I opened it on this, I think I did a Just Open It video on that. It was super cool. I love looking at it from time to time, kind of flipping through it. So the guns go in Leo's holsters like that. That's cool. I'm going to put one in the holster, and I want him to hold the other 2. I just knocked the gun out of one holster. And I want to see how easy it is to get his little turtle hands on these handles here. And it's not going well so far. I just don't understand why. Okay, there we go. I don't recall, and it could be my romanticizing my childhood and these classic toys I have all over the place here, but it just didn't seem as difficult. And maybe my hands were smaller, like I got fat adult fingers now, so things are different, right? But I just remember the ease of opening a toy, putting the weapons in his hand, and just starting to play. And I don't even see how he's going to be able to hold this rifle, because the butt of the rifle is thick, his hand is small, and I'm just going to have to figure this out later, because I don't want to waste your time or mine. There is not an additional sheath or kind of a back piece for the rifle to go into. It would have been cool if this could kind of go back here like a sword. So he does have to hold it in some capacity for display, but I don't know how. I don't know how he will, and I'm mildly annoyed by that. So let's put him there. I'm very excited about this because Space Raphael was one of my favorite figures as a kid. I still have him on my shelf. And it's so cool to see him back in this way. And the weapons are on point. This is a win for this set if everything goes well here. Again, I don't have scissors handy because if I'm a kid and my parents give me this and say, go play, I don't think to grab scissors. Okay. So I took the bubble off his head, the helmet, so I could remove the figure more easily. But this was something as a kid, I remember that helmet would come off a lot during play. This is a different thing where, oh wow, okay, interesting. So this yellow wire tube was easily lost in the original version, and it looks like that piece is still removable right there. I don't know why. And then this has this little tab here, so like this would go from his back to the gun. Now in this case it's going from the back just to the front of his spacesuit, which I like better. It's more self-contained that way. There goes the bubble as I just try to put the gun in his hand, a laser gun or whatever. Okay, so I wonder, this hand, okay, check this out. This hand's grip is significantly wider, more open than this hand's grip. So is that telling me that the gun goes in that hand? I think it is. And that the sword should go in this hand. And I think that's the case here. So I wonder if Leo's hands are a similar sculpt. Now, if I look at my original Space Wrath, it's kind of obscured back there. I think that went the other way. And there are these little tabs on the helmet where you can lock it into place. You put it in, you spin it, and it locks in. Oh, I just did it. Okay. I dig this a lot. I love that it looks like the classic, especially in the details of his kind of chest plate there. There's like a fuel gauge that's running low, and very cool detail here. And I haven't tried to stand any of these figures up yet, but I don't think that'll be a problem because they have kind of ball joints at the hip, the knee, at the feet. I feel like I'll be able to finagle them around. And now, last but not least, Donnie Spock here, whose live long and prosper Vulcan hand is bound because for some reason the plastic isn't enough to hold it in place. Are you starting to feel my frustration here? Because it's not just a kid's opening it thing, it's just needless plastic. And look, I'm not a huge environmentalist or anything, but like, some of this just seems like needless waste. Just open it. The whole premise of this is to get the packaging out of here. I have boxes and you know, figures on card backs with their bubbles. It takes up so much room, and I want these figures out and in the open and the packages out of here. And you're just giving me more to mess with, more trash, and it seems unnecessary. The phaser is a classic Star Trek, the original series phaser. Okay, is that everything? That looks like everything. Okay. So I want to put that phaser in his hand. So here's Donnie. Super cool, right? And what's interesting here is you have the original series insignia on his shirt, but you have a Next Generation looking emblem on his belt. I kind of like that, actually. So the phaser should go easily in his hand, and it does. And just trying to figure out here, like, how the hand bends and how he would... So interestingly, right, we have Mikey with his, like, sunglasses on, and Donnie with his just regular prescription glasses on. So 2 of the 4 turtles wearing glasses. Just interesting. If you're playing Guess Who or something. Very cool there. The shell is on the back, painted blue, like the shirt. I dig this too. I like all of these figures, honestly. My only hang-up so far is Leo and this gun, and so now I want to figure out if the other hand is what it's meant for. And now that I'm looking at it through the filter of what those Raph's hands look like, I think that's the case. Yes, that's obviously the case. He's not holding it in a way that looks like he's going to shoot it, but it's in his hand for display. And then I presume that means this other 6-shooter gun. I know this isn't interesting when you're like, when I'm doing it so close here, but yeah, it's not easy, and it should be. That should be taken into consideration when you're making these toys. Because while adult collectors like me buy them for nostalgia and display them really without playing with them because we're grown-ups, children should be playing with these. These should be sparking imagination, creating the concept of storytelling. As the kids take these figures, watch the movie ideally, right? Fall in love with these characters, take these toys, go home and make up their own adventures, investing in these characters, becoming a part of their lives as they create these adventures, and then these characters stay with them, and these kids become adults like me and continue buying your product. That's what's happening with these action figures. As much as you're pleasing me, an older fan, with these kind of retro designs from the classic Playmates toys, which is cool, you're also ideally instilling some inspiration in a new generation to love these characters as much as we do, so they grow up and become collectors like me, continuing to give you money, Playmates. That's the idea here. So the playability of these toys is so important. And there is Leo, finally, with all of his pieces in place. So, when you have all four of these guys together, it's a very cool assemblage of costume and design. I dig this here. Check that out. A bouquet of Ninja Turtles. Awesome. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you stuck with me, and I'm sorry so much of this stuff is happening close to the vest here, literally, but I just, I'm opening these for me, and I'm sharing the experience here as kind of a one-part review and a one-part advocation that toys are meant to be opened and enjoyed. If you believe that, subscribe to this channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV. I'll be opening these things every week, and I appreciate you watching this. Tune in next time when I grab another unopened toy here from my living room stack, and I say, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.